Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the post-approval, if you will, after USCIS approval, what's going to happen in the K-3, CR-1, or IR-1 visa process. Well, there's a lot of folks out there that kind of look at the USCIS processing phase as the first half of the process. Not a good way to look at it under current circumstances. What we're currently seeing right now is the timelines for getting an interview and ultimately getting a visa issued are dramatically longer than they've been in the past. Now, from case to case, it's hard to figure where the length is going to be, like how much longer one case is going to be compared to another. It's hard to predict how long these cases are going to take to process through, but it is not a real good idea to view USCIS approval as anything approaching any kind of finality in the case. The petition's been approved, it's moving forward. Yeah, you're processing a visa application, but it's going to be a while, and you're still going to be dealing with further aspects of an adjudication. A consular officer still has to do the interview on it, and on top of that, NVC, especially in the context of CR-1 and IR-1 visas, in my opinion, for lack of a better term, it can be something of a nightmare. It's kind of a bureaucratic catch-22, feedback loop, black hole, quagmire, however you want to look at it. It's a pretty difficult system to deal with, and it's not really dealt with overnight, and oftentimes you'll see them push back stuff, want to see a new document, want to see a clearer version of a document. That one really annoys me, is when you send something that to my mind is clear as a bell and they want a clearer version. But NVC, it's not a real fast process to get through. My personal opinion, only my opinion, the prior administration did whatever they could to make NVC more obtuse in many ways. And as a result, we're dealing with a situation where after the USCIS process, you've still got to deal with almost a redundant adjudication, a redundant documentation submission process before you even get an interview date set. And then you're going to be dealing with the interview and everything that entails on the back end. A note regarding K3s specifically, if they get through a little bit differently, they operate a little bit differently because they kind of bypass the more onerous parts of NVC, especially with respect to processing of documentation. You don't have to deal with so much of that. However, and as we've gone over in a lot of videos, K3s are oftentimes, and it's been my experience pretty much all the time, are deemed to be administratively closed because the underlying CR-1 or IR-1 visa petition, which is processing through, goes ahead and it gets there contemporaneously or before the K-3 comes through. And where that's the case, the K-3 is effectively rendered irrelevant and closed. You just don't deal with it, and now you're stuck with the CR-1 or the IR-1. And by stuck with, I mean stuck with for purposes of dealing with NVC. So the thing to take away from this video is, yes, USCIS is a major mile marker in the overall visa process, but it is definitely not the end of the road.